everybody, welcome to Training Tip Tuesday. Today, I'm going to give you some tips on taking your dog skills to the next level, whatever that might be for your dog. I am Kelly Kendall. I'm a certified pro dog trainer, and I'm the owner and trainer at Happy Dog Acres. All right. It is important to advance your dog's ability in a somewhat systemic way. Like you want a systematic way to increase their skills. And when the framework for that is there's pretty much 5 levels of difficulty that you progress through as you're helping your dog up the skill level. Those 5 levels are, you want to start in a familiar indoor environment with no distractions, and then add some distraction to that. The next level would be familiar outdoor environments with no distraction, and then adding some distraction. Next, you'd move on to a real life location, but where the distractions are really far away. And then a real life location, same one where you bring the distractions in a little bit. And then once your dog's really rocking it there, it'll just be real life. You go out and you practice in life as it is. So I have some top tips for you for leveling up your dog's skills, and then we'll go into the process of how to do that next. So my top tips are, first, make sure their basics are rock solid at whatever levels are lower than where you want to get to. So if you're looking for great off-leash freedom, do they have a recall? Are they even able to walk close to you on leash? So those would be some basic skills that you want to make sure are rock solid before you try and advance their skill. You're going to plan out your practice session. So don't kind of just leave it all to hope that it goes well. Really make a plan when you're going to practice. Think about the time. What's the right time for your dog? Pick the location. Those five kind of locations that we talked about on the last slide. Where should we be working? What location is going to meet our current need? What are going to be the distractions? Do I even want any distractions in that location and at this time of day? And then what reinforcement am I going to use? Am I going to have low value treats, high value treats, their favorite toy, a squeaky ball? So those are all the kind of things that you think about when you're planning your session. Next, you're going to want to supercharge your release cue. If you don't know about release cue, that's just a word that tells your dog they're done doing whatever you've cued them to do. So they're done sitting, they're done doing down, they're done doing stay. And if you're not sure about release cues, we have a Training Tip Tuesday on that coming up as well. The next tip is take some breaks. Advancing their skills, learning new stuff, things becoming more difficult. It's hard mental work for your dog. Let them take some breaks, get a drink, sniff, relax. Don't make it too long. And then don't push your pup. Just go at their pace, whatever's going to be the best pace for them to learn. Next is allow your dog the opportunity to get it right. You have to kind of take a step back, give them a little bit of responsibility in challenging situations, and then see if they can get it right. If not, it's just information to tell you where you still need to work. But sometimes you have to give them that little extra freedom to do it so you know where they're at. All right. So we want to set our dogs up for success in all situations, and particularly when we're asking them to increase their ability, to up the ante on their skill level. And success really depends on what you're trying to achieve. So what does success look like for your goal? Is it remaining on a boundary while you work, or sitting while the kids play soccer, maybe recalling from a bird? So you need to know what you're trying to achieve. What does success look like? And then the process we're going to go through for working on advancing that skills is you kind of look at the 3 Ds: distance from you, distraction level, and then the duration on whatever you're asking for. As we're advancing your dog's skill, we're only going to increase one of those at a time. So if we're increasing the distance that we want to be from our dog when giving them information, you don't want to also increase distraction. You don't want to make it be longer than they're used to doing it anyways. So only work on one of the Ds at a time. When you first bring your dog into a new environment, or you plan to increase one of the Ds, because those would be separate things. We don't want to go into a new environment and increase the distraction level compared to what they have previously been used to. So you're either going to work in a new environment or you're going to increase one of the Ds. Your first go, your starting point there is as if they had never learned the cue in the first place. So it makes them really feel like a rock star when they get it right in this new environment or where we're asking for something harder. So pretend they've never heard the cue, make it so easy for them to win, and then work on increasing the ability. Once you get one or two correct responses, so let's say we're asking for a sit at the dog park and we've never gotten that before, and it's a new and difficult environment. If they sit for you one time when you've asked for it, that's great. Just stick with one or two. You don't need to ask for many, many reps. Next is make sure they're really good at the level you're working on. So before you go on, before you add another one of the D's, or before you change the environment, make sure where you are working at, they've really got the skill down. All right. Next thing is, you don't want to hold your pup back because of you. You don't want the reason their skills aren't advancing is because you're holding them back. So first, make sure that your skills are continuing to improve as well. Do you still have food in your hand all the time? Are you repeating a cue multiple times? Do you feel like your dog has this, but you might need a little bit more skill? So don't hold your dog back. The worst thing that happens is that they don't successfully complete what you're asking for. Laugh it off, play a game with your pup, and try a different setup now that you have some information. They might just surprise you. So that's letting your dog test the water. Don't, let them kind of get out there. Let them give it a try. If they mess up, we just know that's information for us for the next training session when we're making our plan. The third thing is to, on your skill side is know your dog. It sounds kind of like a no-brainer, but you really want to make sure that you know what is going to work best for your dog. What's the right level of distractions? Is it just toys sitting on the floor, or should it be somebody playing with the toy nearby? Know your dog and what's going to be the right spot for them. All right, here's a video that I've got to show you of one of my dogs demoing advancing his skills. I chose to stay with Rory the Wolfhound. It's a cue he enjoys, so it's a good time to be working on advancing his skill. A good one for him to practice. I do have a leash on him attached to my deck for just in case safety, because we are out in an open, unfenced area. This is the right safety plan for him because I'm pretty confident with him. But you want to make sure that you pick the right safety plan for your dog so that when you're working at a distance from them or things are going on, that they're going to be safe. Currently, this video is being played at 2 times speed. I'm not really moving this fast. I'm moving more slowly with him. And I have chosen, remember, I have kind of 5 levels of difficulty. This is a familiar outdoor environment, and there's moderate level of distraction for him. And he's got a pretty good duration going. This was 2 minutes that we spent sitting here working on his stay. I do not add a whole lot of distance in this situation. Now, down is the best position for him when we're working on stay. It's easier for him to lay down. He's a big dog, so I've chosen down, but choose what works best for your dog. I'm not perpetually having food in my hand, but you will occasionally see me bring it out and play with it. That is a top distraction for Rory, to be playing with food that he wants to eat. So that's why I'm working on that. Can he maintain his position while I play with the food? Some other distractions that are going on, but that you guys can't see in this video. About 50 yards away, there's 2 dogs playing in a fenced area. About 100 yards away from where Rory and I are, there is a dog barking. Right in front of my house, which is about 25 yards from here, there's a road crew working. While we're practicing here, my husband drives into the driveway with his big trailer bonking through, making noise. I am moving around in a natural-ish way, so that's pretty distracting for Rory too, because if I move, he likes to go with me. Now, when I back up, I don't turn away, but I do practice turning to the side when I'm close to him. If I backed away, he would probably want to follow me, so I thought that might be a little bit too difficult. So we just practiced kind of turning to the side with him. And that's where he was at. That's just a demo of how I would practice that. All right, guys, thanks for joining me here at Trainer Tip Tuesday. Let me know what's working for you. What skills are you trying to advance with your dog? And post that in the comments or post a video of you and your dog working. Happy training.